Alright, so we're going to go ahead and we've already finished out the night phase of 2 all the way, and we did our upgrades, but there was one thing I noticed from editing and another commenter. Actually, it was the person, the real life person. This card is modeled after Kenny Maurer. He actually told me that I did make a mistake, and the Orange Squad actually never had enough. I think they only got to 4, so they never had enough to actually get the upgrade that I did for them last night. So with that, we're just going to take away the first aid skill that I did with them. We're going to put that right back in the perk pile. I'll probably shuffle that back in there when I can. So now that we cleared up that mistake, the only one that actually knew about during the editing, then we can kind of continue on. So the first thing we need to do is, moving into this day phase, is go ahead and flip everybody over to their day side here. Alright, now that that's done, we need to go ahead and start assigning tasks to the group here so we can start sending them out. Obviously, we know right now the big one is going to be crafting, or getting people out there to scavenge, because we need those parts to finish fixing up the truck and hopefully get repair the trailer bed. Want to do that one because if we only fix the truck, which is the only thing we need to do to get out of here, I think we can only take 2 people with us per squad. But if we do the optional one here, then we pay the additional cost to ensure ample seatings. That way we can get, I think, everybody, repaired trailer, hide this portion of the car into the action bar, let's you craft the original upgrade. I want to say this gets you everybody. Yeah, okay, so this one will make sure we get everybody in the truck with us. And I want to take everybody out. I don't want to leave anybody behind. So that's definitely going to be my biggest concern going into the next chapter. So the first thing, we have our first player here, Blue, and they're going to be the ones that can pick first to go on the scavenging mission. We have Kenny's pretty good. We have a lot with our Colonel Glover. I think he's going to be the first one we take. These 2 have completed their quest, their objectives. This objective here is defeat a lieutenant. That's not one that we can worry about. This one is find the urgent care unit in the north scavenging zone. So he's going to be the first one that I put on the board, number 4. He's going to be our leader for the scavenging party. And they're obviously going to want to opt to go north. He's going to be able to pick that. So then we're going to flip down here to the Orange Squad, so you guys can see everything over there, and pick who's going to be good at scavenging. We want somebody that's really good all the way around, just in case we run into something that we're going to need. Marcelina has a pretty good, she doesn't have good combat, but she's got a good mechanic skill. If anything, actually she's a good crafter. So maybe I will take Frank the Tank. He might be a useful addition to this party. His objective is to defeat the boss mutate, so nothing there. So he'll be our second person in the scavenging squad. So now we'll go back up to Blue. 3, I think, is a really good number to take, because you can get a good chance to actually succeed in what you're wanting to do. And then maybe Kenny. He doesn't have the highest mechanic skill, so he'll be good. You know, he's not that great at crafting, but he might be good to help us in any of the other traits like first aid or talking. Might be something we need. So those are the 3 that we're going to take to the crafting team. Next is, I'm sorry, on the scavenging. Next we're going to go to crafting. Blue chose last time, so Orange is going to get to choose the crafting this one. I'll definitely put Marcelina as the head of the crafting team. She's really good at that. Blue is probably going to take, this one can't do anything. Dave Marcus can. He's got a 1 skill. So, or I could opt to just not take either of those. Let's see what we have down here. We have a 0 and a 1. So it really doesn't matter. I should probably just take this one here. If we have 2 guards, we'll be able to back this up 2. And that'll leave us, actually we could, if we only put 2 here in guarding, then we could put another one in crafting. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's kind of shift that around a little bit. We could take number 4 here, Erica, she can be on the crafting team as well. That leaves Dave Marcus and Teresa Von Shen. They're going to do our guarding. So they're going to bring our zombies down to a 3 if something doesn't happen out in the scavenging zone. Alright, so now that we've got that going, we'll go ahead and go out scavenging. So we already know that we want to go, what was it, north? So that is the zone that we're going to be, that's where we're going to be going. So we're going to go get our book here, and we're going to roll 1 dice. We get a 5. Okay, so we're going to go to our north zones, not the urban zones. The west, I think north is going to be the first set. Alright, number 5 is... Wait, where's 5? Convenience store. Not the urgent care store that we were looking for, but we're going to have to take care of the convenience store here. So, text on the convenience store is, what's easier than stopping in to pick up the last minute bag of ice for the party or grab batteries for the toy later in handcuffs? Okay. So we have 2 options. We have 1, we can trust that your rational mind will win, that you will speak their brand of crazy. So somebody needs to pass a talk 14 test. Or option 2, you go for broke, someone's going to get hurt, but you'll all be okay in the end. Maybe. Single survivor must pass a first aid 9. Let's see, special. If option 2, success or fail, homies, screams are the big problem. Oh, that sucks. That's a doom track plus 3 if we take option 2. So, really, we want to try to take option number 1 here for the talking. Okay, so talking 14, that is tough. That's like 3 dice that we're going to have to allocate to talking because, you know, 2 6s is 12, and then, yeah, I would say to have a good chance of passing, somebody needs to be able to do a talk of 3. Blue number 4 can talk only 1. Okay, psychokinesis gives him the ability to use their smarts instead of their melee or firearms skill. Okay, so we can't, it's no firearms or melee. 3 on the orange squad can do a talk of 1. That's not good. And then our last one, the blue number 1, Kenny, can talk 2, has a head wound, which took him down to a talk 1, but then we have the talk plus 1, so he can do it 2. Unfortunately, a singular person cannot pass. There's no way to pass the talk 14 test because the max that we can roll in anybody is 2 dice, and it just does not give us what we need. So we're going to have to say we're going to try for option 2, which is going to be first aid 9. Okay, first aid, let's look at our people here. 4 can do 1 on first aid, that's not going to do it. 3 can do 0 on first aid, and then Kenny has a 2 on first aid. Alright, Kenny's going to be the only one that's going to be able to attempt this test, hoping that we get some nice dice rolls. Alright, so we have 2, 4, 6 dice to roll. Make our dice pool. Alright, we only need a pass of 9 to get that going. So we have, obviously we got it. We get these 2 right here, which is 11. So everything else is not used. 2 dice. Kenny did pass. Alright, which means that if we passed, we're going to get 5 resource cards, 5 food cards, 1 survivor, and plus 1 on the doom track. Also, get plus 3 on the doom track. It means we're going to have to advance this sucker plus 4. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to bring it 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 short of a mutate coming on the board. But luckily I have 2 people resting, So that's going to back that up to 7. So, but we're still got to spawn in 7 zombies on this round. Alright, so let's go ahead and grab our loot. 5 resource cards, 5 food, and 1 survivor. So I'm going to go ahead and grab those, and we'll get those set out on the board. 4, 5. Okay, and 1 survivor. So we're going to go ahead and pull the survivor here from the bottom of the stack. It's Julie Aaron. Okay, so she's going to be right there, and doesn't look like any armory cards. So, okay, that's all of the loot that we're going to get. Now we start with the first player here. First player is going to go ahead and get first pick. Let's see. I'm not concerned so much about the parts. We share those really nicely. The only thing I'm concerned about is the food. All right, this food, how many do we have here? We have 1 food that they're carrying. And we have another food over here. We need more than that. We need at least 2. So we're going to start off this raw food, radiated food, coffee. Not usable without, looks like a trash can. Feeds all survivors in the squad. That's pretty nice if we had made the trash can, which we have not. I'll go ahead and take this first. Then we move over here. They'll take this one. Because we can deal with raw meat. I think that Erica can use the raw meat. Yeah. Okay, so that's good. Next, we'll do the radiated food up here. Raw food down here, and then the coffee beans will go to first started. Next, we have our parts, scrap. We'll just kind of start divvying those out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then Julie. Alright, so now we have to do a little bit of a competition here. See if we want her. She's pretty nice. Let's look at Angry Dexterous. The survivor may equip a second weapon that is being carried and dual wield for the remainder of combat. The second weapon's basic attack costs 1 action point. She's got 1 on firearms, 3 melee, 2 mechanics, doesn't have any first aid or sight, but she has a good talk, if anybody ever needed to talk. So in order to grab her, since both of our squads are full up, we can't put any more on there. Then we'd have to say, whoever's going to fight for her is going to have to let one of these people go. So I'm going to look at that. I'm going to see what my best option would be, and then we'll see who might try to start the test here. So we'll see. Alright, so after looking it over, I don't really have a place for Julie. None of my groups do. I'm feeling very good with what I have. But that actually is a bad thing, because both of our survivors are full, so no matter what, we would have to be giving up 1 survivor and sending them back out into the dangerous Zpocalypse, as the rules state. However, there is a negative to that, is that we have to, if we discard a survivor, we increase the doom track by 1. So basically we're sending her back out to her death. We can't use her anymore. And now that we did that, we have to increase the doom track by 1. Okay. We'll still be okay because we're resting for 2, which is going to bring us to 8, but we won't be spawning in a mutate, because at the time of spawn, it'll be backed up at least to here. So that was the negative of having to get rid of survivor, but it would have happened anyway, because somebody would have had to leave for that survivor to go. So now that we've got that done, we're back from the scavenging, so we're going to go ahead and get all these things out and see, do we finally have enough to craft this darn truck? Alright, we need to see. We have 2, we're going to need 2 parts, and this is going to be a big sharing between both of our groups, because some of them have stuff all over the place. I'm not looking to keep anything from one thing. We're all working together, so this is going to be complete co-op. So we need to see what all of our squads have to see if we can fix this truck. All right, 2 parts. We need to see if somebody's got 2 parts here. Okay, or 2 scrap, I should say. All right, so we know that the blue team has enough scrap, so we'll set that here. Maybe close to here. 2 gas. This is, I think, something we may be short on. I know we have 1 gas up here. Okay. Doesn't look like I have any other gas anywhere else. I do have the Just What I Needed card, but we'll see if I have to use that anywhere else. So right now we're short on 1 gas. I need 2 parts. Okay, here's 1 parts from the orange team. Oh, 2 parts. Okay. 13 action points. That might be easily doable with the amount of action points that, or the dice pool that we'll have in here. Or somebody that's crafting should be able to get 13 action points. Let's see. Number 1 for yellow, he can do 3 dice. Marcelina can do 3 dice. She can, sorry. So if we rolled high, 3 dice should be enough to get us 13, at least 2 6s. And lower dice somewhere else. So at this point, I think with this card here, the Just What I Needed, we can turn that one into fuel. We have enough to craft the truck. The Repair the Bed is optional. We need 1 more scrap, which I think we can do scrap right here. 1 more. 2 wood. Here's 1. And here's the second one. So we have enough, actually I'll put that up here. We have enough all the way right now to fix the truck and the bed. We would need 15 action points, which would mean we would have to roll minimum 3 dice that are 5s. Okay, now we're lucky because Kenny has a 3 in the mechanics skill. No, not Kenny. Marcelina has 3 in the mechanics skill. Summer has 0. She can't help us out there. And who was our last one? 4 is Erica. Cannot help us out there. So it would have to be Marcelina that makes this happen. So let's go ahead and roll our 2, 4, 6 dice. 2, 4, 6. Look at our dice pool. Oh, fudge. Fudge, fudge, fudge. All right. We might be only able to do the first part. 13 action points, 3 dice. This is as best we can get. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. This is just enough to go ahead and craft the truck. Okay. We'll go ahead and use the 2 scrap. Or the 2 parts. We'll use the gas. I think it was this one and this one. Then we'll use the 2 scrap here. Now everything else is going back to their piles because we cannot do the first. We can't do the first or the second part, which is repair the trailer bed. So we got our 13 action points. Marcelina got it, and let's see, if a survivor craft, no, this is not fortification. All right. So it wasn't a great roll, but we at least have the first part of the truck finished. So congratulations, you managed to repair the truck. You just might survive the Zpocalypse after all. All right, so we'll put that up there, I guess. Or no, we haven't repaired the trailer yet. So we've only fixed the truck. Now our winning conditions are, for this chapter, is to, if you've crafted, okay, successfully fixed the truck. Congratulations, you have completed chapter 1. With a loud kickback, the truck's engine starts to rev. Unfortunately, the noise from your shop has every Zed for miles around crawling out of their dark corners just around the house. It's time to go now. Oh, so that means that I think it means I cannot optionally craft the bed, since I didn't have enough when I crafted that. that means that we kind of have to go. We're getting overrun at that point. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to go with it. So we're going to take action 1 if we are not participating in the campaign but would like to close the adventure. Skip to 3 if you are playing the campaign. Complete 1 and 2. All right, 1. If you crafted the optional truck bed while fixing the truck, all survivors currently in squads can climb aboard. You may also choose up to 2 crafted upgrades slotted into the action board to strap to the top of the truck and take it with you. Return any other upgrades back to the crafting deck. If you did not, this is where we're at. Each player may only bring 2 survivors from their squad with them to the next house. Tragically, any other survivors must be left to fend for themselves, and you must return all crafted upgrades back to the crafting deck. Crap. Alright, notes. By fixing the truck, you have unlocked the urban scavenging zones regardless of the optional upgrade. Alright, so we can only take 2 with us and none of the upgrades. So I guess that means like the crafted upgrades is what they're talking about. Not the upgrades to the characters. I'll have to make sure I'm reading that right. Action 2 is abandon the house. Remove any tokens from the board. Starting with the first player, each player may take 1 card from the public stash, we don't have anything there, and add it to their squad if they have room. Discard all cards in the public stash. Well, don't have anything. Next is flip the first and second floor tiles to A and set up a new map. Okay, so this is actually going to be going into the setup of the next one, which I will go ahead and move into. We're not doing action 3, which is kind of a PvP combat. And so this is proceeding on chapter 2. So we'll go ahead and talk about that during the setup. But at this point, where we're at is chapter 1 has been finished because we did fix the truck. My next video is going to talk about who got left behind and what we've taken with us into the next map. So I hope you've enjoyed this chapter 1 playthrough. Like I said in the past, I'm sure there are things that I've gotten wrong. I've tried to address all of those issues when I've known about them, so that way anybody watching it can say, okay, that was a mistake, but he did address that. So I try to handle those as they come up that I know about them and talk about them. But if you see any mistakes that were made, please let me know as soon as you see it, if it's not in the comment sections already. If you look in the description of the video, you'll find a list of the mistakes that I've made and have addressed up to that point. So if it's not there, bring it to my attention. We'll try to fix it by the next video if I haven't filmed it already and edited it. So we're done here for chapter 1. I'll be setting up, my next video will be coming out, I'll be setting up chapter 2 and getting that started, and we'll go into that setup. So again, I hope you've enjoyed. Leave me some comments and some feedback. I would greatly appreciate it, and we'll see you guys next time.